So this is a conversation between you and Katie Bolos, correct?
Yes.
She's talking to you about Zachary Young, correct?
Yes, she had
She
just made...
says, LOL, he is trying to pull, I want you to promise you won't name me in any article as a condition for talking. Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
She says, sorry, my dude, correct?
Yes.
And your response at the bottom is, ha, that's really funny, isn't it?
Yes, that's my response.
Not, don't worry, it's not going in the report, correct?
No.
Thought it was funny when Mr. Young asked for the same courtesy?
Apparently at the time.
Corey, can we scroll up to page 3 for a minute? It's because Mr. Marquardt, at 3:14 that same day, you had already told Katie Bolos, okay, eventually we will need to hit him hard with it and let him know that we have many texts that he sent to people with all his outrageous prices. And we plan to report both his name and what he said to people, including calling one American activist a spiteful bitch, so he's going to be on CNN. You see that?
I do.
And that's why you didn't give him the same courtesy, correct?
These are obviously selective parts of the broader conversation. My colleague Katie Bolos had just made contact with Mr. Young, and we were trying to figure out how to best approach him so we could learn as much as we possibly could about what he was doing. At this point, I'm telling Ms. Lillis that we are planning to report his name and what he said. And I would just note that when he did say this thing, spiteful B, about this woman who's an activist who works in Afghanistan and works with women and girls, just calls her a swear word, we did not include that in our reports.
It's November 3rd, sir.
Correct.
You didn't publish your story till November 11th.
8 days, so a lot changes between then and publication.
We'll see, right? Sir, you were on a mission, were you not?
To tell a good story, to tell everything factually, and to tell as comprehensive a story as possible. That is a mission with every story that I do.
To expose and humiliate Zachary Young.
That is incorrect.
Let's jump back to your conversation with James Daniels. Corey, after that LinkedIn conversation completes, we need a limited production here of 108. After that LinkedIn conversation continues, you guys move to text messages. Do you recall that?
Sorry, between myself and?
Mr. Daniels, James Daniels.
Yes.
And Corey, can we have a limited production of PX 108? And these are your text messages with him that follow on that LinkedIn conversation, correct?
Yes.
You talk about Zachary Young in those LinkedIn messages, do you not?
Yes.
Your Honor, plaintiffs offer Exhibit 108 into evidence.
No objection. Claims 108 submitted.
Mr. Hagan, can we please publish to the jury? Hey, Jim. Thank you, Corey. Who met with him in Vienna? Alex, I'll have to find the message. Let's scroll down a little bit. Keep going. Keep me in the loop on this, Alex. I'm definitely more prone to believe your take on the story. That is him being a real person and engaged in some shady business is highly plausible. Let's go up a little bit. Original post I put up is getting reshared. Let's go down. You say, oh, and he offers to put you in touch with anybody that talks to him about Zachary Young, correct?
Yes.
You say, okay, excellent. You ask him about a virus. He tells you, well, some attachment I need to click on. Let's go down. Keep going. Got a message from another person. Keep going. Brad Street, Vienna. You say, good find. I'd seen the Florida address, a couple of numbers. 719 goes to Colorado number. Let's keep going. I think he's still active. He may have just blocked me. Speak to this Figueroa guy. And then he tells you, I'd love to see this guy taken down, Alex. I appreciate you taking an interest in it. Apparently he's been active as recently as 3 hours ago. Do you see that?
I do.
Keep going, please, for me, Corey. He's still at it. I saw that one from a little while ago. We've been in touch with him, you say. He makes no apologies. Right?
Yes.
He deserved what was coming to him, right?
No.
I agree. Wow, you actually found the guy, he tells you. Scroll down. Yeah, we did. Got his phone number, texted a bunch, didn't take my call. Do you think you'll have enough sooner than later to file a story? That's the plan next week. Great. I really want to see this guy get taken down. If I get anything new, I'll let you know, but it really seems like you've gotten to the heart of the matter. Nicely done. I really respect and appreciate what you're doing, right?
Yes, Mr. Friedman.
Keep going. On November 11th, he says, story coming out today, heard a rumor. You say, looking that way. Young's account appears to have disappeared. And he says to you, he's got to be feeling the heat. Well done, right?
Yes.
Keep scrolling, please, Corey. You've seen these messages. Something's redacted. You then send him the piece after it comes out, right?
Yes.
And he says, bravo, thank you, Alex, right?
Yes, he does.
So Ms. Kornetsky wasn't the only one you talked to who wanted to see Mr. Young get taken down, correct?
That's correct.
Thank you, Corey. You can take that down. Sir, you pitched a story about Mr. Young internally to CNN too, didn't you?
As I do with all my stories, yes.
You sent two pitch emails around, an informal one and a formal one. We've looked at them briefly, right?
Yes.
Let's look at them a little bit closer. Corey, can you put up Exhibit 81, please? And let's zoom into the pitch email. So the pitch is called Afghanistan Evacuation Price Gouge. In the opening paragraph, you say, an American activist showed me messages from a guy named Zachary Young who's charging $75,000 to get one vehicle from Kabul to Pakistan. And then, in the next paragraph, you included a separate paragraph where you said Young claims to be former CIA, but that you haven't been able to verify it yet, correct?
I say that they don't know who he is. I eventually verified something.
From the official spokesperson from the CIA, correct?
Yes.
She confirmed for you off the record that Zachary Young was former CIA, correct?
Had some kind of affiliation, had some kind of connection to the CIA. That's correct.
And that's common for the CIA to do. They call it a steer, right?
Yes.
You say at the end, is anyone digging into this kind of thing seems worth chasing, right?
Yes, I would just highlight, this is not a pitch. This is an email to a colleague of mine, a fellow reporter who covers the FBI and other issues, and I'd heard that he might be working on something similar, so here I am basically telling him what I'm working on.
I think it's just a Corey, can you zoom out, please? So actually, Corey, you took the top email, which is a follow-up, but actually your original email goes to Mr. Levine, Miss Mosley, and Mike Callahan, correct? I'm sorry, we put up the wrong email there for you. That's our fault.
That's an email from Adam Levine, correct?
Right, and your original email is going to him, and it says pitch, Afghan evacuation price gouging, correct?
Correct, and I think that speaks to how broad this story was, and as you can see, it starts off by talking about regular people and not Mr. Young.
So this pitch email here, it names only Young as a potential bad actor, correct?
It names Mr. Young as an actor in this market. Yes.
Only Young, correct?
That's correct. Well, I have the two other people who I'm not naming for their security reasons. I couldn't reveal their identities because they're being chased by the Taliban. If we had felt comfortable in a normal situation where people are not being hunted, I would have put their names in there as well. And I think, in the pitch process, what you're trying to do is help your editors imagine what the eventual story is going to look like. And by putting a name in there, you're essentially, giving an example and illustrating the bigger story that you're working on. So that's why his name is in there.
And he's the only name in there, correct?
Again, because of security reasons, I couldn't name the other two people.
But it's just a simple yes or no. He's the only name in there, correct?
Correct.
Just like you're reporting? He's the only name there, too?
I'd have to double check, but we couldn't reveal other people's names. I think you'd understand that it's very, very dangerous if we reveal that they spoke with us.
Thank you, Corey. You can take that down. 2 days later, you submit what I've been referring to as the formal pitch. Corey, let's put up Exhibit 88. This formal pitch is entitled Extortion of Desperate Afghans, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And like the informal pitch, the only operator you mentioned here is Young, correct?
Yes, he's the only one who's named here.
You tell your superiors that your plan would include talking to people who engaged with Young and contact him ourselves, correct?
Yes, who, again, we cannot name for security reasons.
So not only is Young those are the evacuees, right? The Afghans that you're not naming, correct?
The would-be evacuees who aren't able to get out. I mean, one man was in the United States, but he was trying to get his family out. But I didn't want to report their names because I didn't want to put a target on their backs.
Yeah, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the bad actors you're featuring, like Zachary Young. He's the only bad actor you're featuring, correct?
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, I didn't describe him as a bad actor. He's the example that we're giving for the people who are participating in this market.
He's the only operator you mentioned in the piece, correct?
That's correct.